Welcome to Fulton County Schools. By this point, I hope that we have you hooked into wanting to know more about how you can maximize your volunteer experience. I am Jennifer Burton, Director of K-5 Literacy for Fulton County Schools. As a former principal, I was constantly seeking caring adults who could dedicate an hour or two each week to support our developing readers. As a literacy volunteer, you may be asked to read to a class of students, a small group of students, or an individual student. Through this video, we will equip you with 2 strategies that will transform your time from reading to children to reading with children. You'll use the book that you read as a conversation starter. In this video, we will highlight the TIPS strategy as a great way to interactively read a book with a child, and the PAT strategy to build the child's background knowledge and vocabulary. TIPS stands for Tune In, Introduce the Book, Promote Language, Summarize the book. Let's break down the TIPS strategy and observe Miss Simon, a literacy volunteer, implementing the strategy. The T in TIPS stands for Tune In. During the Tune In phase, the volunteer has the opportunity to capture the child's attention and connect with the child. If you have selected the book to read with the child, you might explain why you selected the book by making a personal connection and inviting the student to share his or her experience with the topic. If the child brings a book to read to the session, you could tune in by asking the child why he or she has selected the book and express sincere interest in reading the book. Let's observe how Miss Simon tunes in with Charlotte.
Good morning, Charlotte. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm Miss Simon, and I thank you for taking time out of your schedule today to listen to a story I'm going to read, A Bad Case of Stripes. Have you ever heard of this story?
No.
No? Wow, so let me tell you, this is one of my favorite books of all time. When I was in the classroom, I loved to read this book to my students. One of the personal connections that I have with this book, she struggled with being different. Have you ever had that feeling before, struggling?
Yeah, a little bit.
Being a little different. It's not easy always in school. So I like to read this story so our students can hear about the different challenges that comes with deciding trying to fit in, but then how she overcomes that challenge. Okay, you ready to listen?
Yeah.
Did you notice how Miss Simon explained why she chose the book, A Bad Case of Stripes? Miss Simon has connected with Charlotte by recognizing that children sometimes struggle with fitting in with their peers. The I in TIPS stands for Introduce the Book. During the Introduce the Book phase, the volunteer focuses the child's attention and interest on the book and sets the purpose for reading. You might focus the child's attention by saying the title of the book, pointing to pictures on the cover, and telling the child what the book is about. You can set the purpose for reading by stating the story's problem or referring back to the cover with a wondering about something shown in the illustration. For example, you might introduce Dr. DeSoto by William Steig by saying, "Today, we will read Dr. DeSoto by William Steig. Dr. DeSoto is a very good dentist with many different animal patients. Since he is a mouse, I wonder if there are any patients that would be dangerous for him to treat. Let's read to find out." Let's observe how Miss Simon introduces A Bad Case of Stripes to Charlotte.
So like I said, this is A Bad Case of Stripes by David Shannon, who is one of my favorite authors. Are you familiar with No David?
Yeah.
William. Yeah. So yeah, he also wrote this story right here. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm just going to set the purpose for reading. So while I'm reading, just listen to see how, her name is Camilla Cream, how she just tries to fit in with her classmates.
Did you notice how Miss Simon shared the title and author of the book? She gave Charlotte a purpose for reading by asking her to listen for how Camilla Cream tries to fit in with her classmates. The P in TIPS stands for Promote Language. Sarah Schwartz explained in the How Children Learn to Read video that reading comprehension is the product of word recognition and language comprehension. When you take the lead in reading with a child, you can use the book to build and reinforce the child's vocabulary bank. Once children have learned the alphabetic code, vocabulary is the most important single factor for reading comprehension. However, developing a rich vocabulary begins at birth and may continue well into adulthood. Children are better equipped to pronounce the printed word correctly if they have heard the word before and have some background knowledge related to that word. It is estimated that third grade proficient readers must partially learn or recognize in context the meanings of 2,000 to 3,000 new words every year. Given 36 weeks in a school year, a teacher can teach only some words directly and explicitly. The rest must be learned more informally from less formal exposure during listening and reading. Literacy volunteers play a critical role in providing informal vocabulary instruction while reading with students. One strategy that you can use to promote language and support vocabulary development is to pat the vocabulary of more sophisticated words, such as delicate or treacherous, or advanced words related to a specific topic, such as claustrophobia. PAT stands for point, act, and tell. As you read the book, talk with the child about what is happening by pointing to the pictures, acting out more sophisticated words using gestures and facial expressions and different voice inflections, and telling or explaining the meaning of words. Let's watch Miss Simon pat the vocabulary as she reads A Bad Case of Stripes to Charlotte.
Camilla Cream loved lima beans, but she never ate them. All of her friends hated lima beans, and she wanted to fit in. Camilla was always worried about what other people thought of her. Today she was fretting even more than usual. That word fretting, and from the look at her face, I guess she was like a little nervous, maybe worried. She couldn't decide what to wear. There were so many people to impress on the first day of school. She tried on 42 outfits, but none seemed quite right. She put on a pretty red dress and looked in the mirror. Then she screamed.
Did you notice how Miss Simon paused after reading the word fretting? Miss Simon recognized that fretting is not a common word that Charlotte is likely to use in her daily conversations with friends or family. Miss Simon paused to explain that fretting means worried or nervous. The final step in the TIPS strategy is to summarize the book through a conversation with the child. This is not a quiz, but an opportunity to ask open-ended questions so that the child can provide a recap of the book and share his or her opinion of the story events. During the conversation, be sure to honor all of the child's attempts by restating and expanding on what the child says. Encourage the child to use any new vocabulary introduced in the story. Let's observe how Miss Simon leads the conversation to summarize a bad case of stripes.
After work, Camilla wasn't quite the same. Some of the kids at the school said she was weird, but she didn't care a bit. She ate all the lima beans she wanted, and she never had even a touch of stripes again. That's the end of the story. And one of the reasons why I always love to read this story, especially during the first week of school, is because everyone comes together and there's people you don't know, and you might be scared because you may like something different from someone else, but it's okay to be unique in your own way. Mm-hmm. Can you tell me how you related to the book in any way?
On the first day of school, I did not know what to wear. I was really stressed out. I was nervous. But also, I was kind of excited to meet my teacher.
At the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah. You wanted to make a good impression on the first day of school with your outfit? Yeah, I like how you shared your connection with the text. Well, thank you for your time today, Charlotte. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Have a good day, okay?
You too.
Thanks.
Did you notice how Miss Simon restated why she likes the book and asked Charlotte how she related to the story? Miss Simon took the time to listen to Charlotte's experience. Miss Simon used her time with Charlotte to make personal connections that they will build upon as they read together in the future. You now have the strategies you need to effectively use a book to build a relationship and facilitate a meaningful conversation with a child to promote his or her language development. By consistently using the TIP strategy, you have the power to bring the words on the page to life. As a reminder of the TIP strategy, please download the TIPS bookmark on this webpage to take with you as you read with children at a Fulton County school in your community. Thank you for your time that you will spend spreading the love of reading across our district.